share some information about the luxurious topic of the plantar fascia, the foot. The plantar fascia is the structure that runs along the bottom of the foot. It runs from the calcaneus, or the heel bone, up to the metatarsals of the 5 toes. So it is this thick structure, we call it an aponeurosis, but it's a thick structure that helps support the arch of your foot. So it is a very important structure to support the foot when you're bearing weight through the foot, when you're standing for a while, when you're walking, exercising, and especially when you're doing high impact exercise. The plantar fascia has to deal with a lot of force when you're weight bearing through the foot. And oftentimes it can get aggravated, it can wear down, and it can get inflamed. And that's when you often get the diagnosis of plantar fasciitis. I know, it's a weird word. Fasciitis, inflammation of the fascia. Today I'd like to talk to you about what some of the common causes of plantar fasciitis are. I'm going to go into detail about some treatments you can try at home, as well as share with you my plantar fasciitis exercise program. My hope is that after you watch this video, you know way more about your foot than you ever cared to know about. Alright? So let's get started by talking about some of the causes of plantar fasciitis. One cause of plantar fasciitis is degeneration. Just like any other structure in our body, the plantar fascia can wear out as we age, and so that's just one of those things that's just going to happen the older you get. That happens to many people. Another cause of plantar fasciitis is having a bone spur. We call them osteophytes, but that's just a fancy word for a bone spur, and oftentimes people will have bone spurs at the calcaneus, or that heel bone. I saw many patients who had this, and most of the time we were able to do some physical therapy and get rid of their pain. However, some people do have to go in for surgery to shave off that bone spur to get rid of that true cause of their plantar fasciitis. Another cause of plantar fasciitis is just your bone structure. You know, the way your foot is built, the anatomy of your foot. If you're someone who has a higher arch, that plantar fascia typically has to be a lot sturdier because instead of being flat, it has to really create a lot more arch than it used to in most people. And so that can make you more susceptible to causing some inflammation in that region. Another cause of plantar fasciitis is just overuse. Let's say you typically aren't a very active person, but you all of a sudden decide to hop up and go train for a marathon. Well, the plantar fascia in the foot is doing a lot of work every time you strike on the heel, roll through the foot for your running and your jogging practice. It's going to inflame the plantar fasciitis if you do too much too soon. That's why it's important if you get any sort of new exercise program, running protocol, that you slowly ease into it and build up. Otherwise, you can get some inflammatory processes in the hips, knees, and the ankles. So just a sudden change in activity can bring on the plantar fasciitis, especially if you're doing high impact activity like I mentioned, running, or exercises or sports that involve a lot of jumping and plyometric work. That's going to really overuse the plantar fascia and sometimes inflame it. And lastly, if you have a job that requires a lot of standing, long hours of standing, and especially if you're wearing shoes that maybe don't provide much arch support, it's going to cause you to be more susceptible to plantar fasciitis as well. For example, one of my patients with this issue, he was a golf trainer, so he was all day standing on his feet, helping people improve their golf swing, walking the golf course, and so he was wearing these golf shoes that weren't very supportive. So it was important that he invested in nicer shoes because he was wearing them for 8-10 hours a day. So just some things to think about. There are many different causes of plantar fasciitis. Some are activity related, some are anatomy related, function related, age related. Keep all of that in mind and really dive down deep and figure out what the true cause of your issue is so that you can address that specifically. So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to talk about some treatment options now. For plantar fasciitis, the main thing you want to do is start with some light stretching. I know, you probably already guessed that. It's a great idea to do some stretches for the calves. The calf muscles are made up of 2 muscles, gastrocnemius and soleus. The 2 calf muscles should be stretched well, and you should also try and stretch the plantar fascia. or the arch of the foot. I will show you some of those stretches later, but just keep in mind those are the 3 areas that you usually want to focus on stretching if you're having plantar fascia pain. In addition to stretching, it's also a good idea to go to the store, go to the running store, or go see a physical therapist and maybe get an assessment of your anatomy and the arch of your foot and figure out if you need to buy some sort of shoe insert, or more supportive shoes to help provide you with more comfort, especially if you're someone who stands a lot all day at work or someone who is very physically active. You want to have a pair of shoes that's going to best support your foot and help prevent you from getting further issues and pain in that plantar fascia region. So get an assessment to determine if you need that. Another great way to address plantar fascia pain is soft tissue massage. Now, soft tissue massage isn't going to be the best treatment. I think it's really important to focus on the stretching and strengthening, but it's something maybe good to try within those first 1 to 2 weeks where you're in a lot of discomfort to help just kind of calm down your pain a little bit. And you can do that by seeing a physical therapist, a massage therapist, or just massaging the area on your own. You've got 2 hands, use them, right? So you just want to basically follow the entire region of the plantar fascia. So you can just sit and cross the foot over the other leg, and you can just massage that area on your own, whatever feels good. And if you get in there and you feel a tight spot or a little knot, work it out. Focus on that area, rub it out for a few minutes, and a massage like that, like I said, it's probably not going to fix much, but it may help just temporarily get your pain levels down so that you can do a little bit more actively. Another common treatment for plantar fasciitis is to apply ice to the area. This is something that I recommend after activity or exercise. So let's say you did do leg day, or you did go play basketball and it probably inflamed that plantar fascia afterwards. Well, when you get home, do some mobility stretching work and then get some ice on it. You can put an ice pack on for 10-15 minutes. You can do an ice massage by just grabbing an ice cube and applying that for a few minutes. Or you can roll out the arch of your foot with a frozen water bottle. That will also do the trick for a few minutes there. Now I want to share with you my top tip that I used to tell patients that came in with this sort of pain. And that is, do some mobility work in bed first thing in the morning. I know, you wake up, you like just want to get ready to go, can't wait to get out of bed and start your day. But seriously, when you're in bed and you wake up, before you hop up out of bed, do a couple stretches in bed. All right, have a towel by you, wrap the towel around your foot, pull the foot in towards you, or just simply do some ankle pumps. Just pump the ankle up and down. Get that calf moving, get some gentle calf stretches in, and then grab your toe, pull the toe up. These things, I know it may not seem like much, but if you just spend a few minutes in bed stretching out that foot and ankle, when you go to first step down off of your bed, off the ground, and bear weight through the feet, it's not gonna be as painful. Because that was the biggest complaint I would hear from people. It said, oh, first thing in the morning when I get up out of bed, and that first few steps out of bed is when it hurts the most, and then it gets better from there. Well, that's because most of us sleep with our ankles or feet in a plantar flex position. All night, we're sleeping like this because we have the sheets over us, so the feet are pointed all night. And then when you go to step up out of bed, it's like, boom, a lot of weight bearing through flexed feet. And it's been, 7 or 8 hours since your feet have done that, 7 or 8 hours since your plantar fascia has been stretched out, and it's just too sudden. That's why it doesn't feel good. So if you do some little ankle pumps, do a few stretches in bed, and then go to put weight on your foot, it's gonna be more comfortable for you. So that's my biggest tip. Try that out first thing in the morning and see how it feels. And then usually, the more you walk on it throughout the day, the better it feels. Plantar fasciitis is something, it feels worse when you're not moving, when you've been sitting still for a while, and then all of a sudden you get up and try and step on that foot and it stretches and pulls on that plantar fascia, and it just doesn't like that because it's just too much too soon. So my biggest piece of advice to recap, work on your ankle and foot mobility stretches, do some calf strengthening work to build up the arch a little bit more, and then figure out if you need to get some sort of shoe inserts to support the arch of your foot a little bit more. All right, you guys, I think I've talked enough for today. Let's move on. I'm gonna get right to the exercises today. We're gonna start with some mobility stretching exercises, and then I'll transition into some strengthening work from there. All of these exercises you can do at home. All you need are a few little things. So a towel would be awesome. Small little objects would be awesome, like marbles or maybe some bag clips or pens, and a water bottle or tennis ball options. So grab a few things at home. These exercises would be great to do, like I said, first thing in the morning, because that's when you're gonna feel the stiffest and have the most pain. So, you know, do a few in bed, and then do your morning routine, and then maybe before you head out the door for work, just spend 5 minutes. Like, that's literally all it takes. 5 minutes, do a few more stretches, strengthening, then put your shoes on, head out the door. Super, super easy, and hopefully these exercises help you. Now, keep in mind, I always say this, but keep in mind, all exercise and treatment should be customized to your needs. I'm just giving you some general ideas to try, general ideas of exercises that used to work for patients of mine, but always consult your doctor before beginning a new program, and always keep in mind that if these things don't work, maybe it's best to go see a physical therapist to get some truly customized programming for you that's gonna best treat what's causing your pain. All right, let's do it. For the standing calf stretch, you're gonna find a wall. Place both hands on the wall, step 1 foot back. You're stretching the right calf. You're gonna go ahead and press the right heel down into the ground while keeping that right knee straight. Depending on your ankle mobility and flexibility, you may feel a stretch here. If you don't, simply take a step farther back, widen that stance, sink down lower in that lunge until you feel a stretch in the back of the right calves there. For this calf and plantar fascia stretch, find a step that you can use at home. Stand on top of the step with the toes on the step, hands on the wall to balance you. Then gently just let those heels sink down, dropping them off the edge of the step there. Hold the position here for a stretch while keeping the knees both straight, and just let the heels drop as far as you can. Over time, you'll notice things will start to loosen up more and you can drop the heels even more. One of the best ways to stretch the plantar fascia is to simply use your own hands to provide a passive stretch. So what you can do is start in sitting and just cross one leg over the other, however you're comfortable with. Then you're going to dorsiflex the ankle, which means you're going to pull an entire foot up toward your shin bone. Then use your fingers, grab that big toe, and also pull the big toe toward the shin bone. So we're extending the toe as much as we can. This is providing a stretch at both the origin and the insertion of the plantar fascia, so we're trying to stretch this whole region here. You can also stretch the calves and the plantar fascia in a long sitting position like this. Grab a long towel. You're going to place it under the foot, preferably up near the toes. Hook it there, grab it with both hands, and then you're going to pull that foot toward you. So you're keeping this knee straight or extended the whole time. The foot is flexing toward you, and you're also letting that towel pull those toes as well. That's going to really get that plantar fascia a little bit more. For the rolling stretch of the plantar fascia, we're going to roll out the plantar fascia. The plantar fascia runs from the heel toward the big toe along the arch of the foot. So grab a tennis ball or a massage ball. You're going to stand, place one foot on the ball, start at roughly the heel area, roll along the arch toward the big toe, and then back up. So you're just massaging the arch of the foot using the ball. One of my favorite plantar fascia stretches is super simple. Just watch me. You're going to put one foot back, then you're going to press the base of that big toe down into the ground while keeping the heel lifted. So pretend like you're wearing high heels. That heel has to stay up, and then you're applying pressure through the base of that big toe, and you're just holding it here. If you put the weight to the outside of your foot, you're not going to feel this much, so keep the weight centered, or even more so just a little bit over the big toe, and just hold it. 30-second stretch here. Great stretch for the plantar fascia specifically. Let's do a yoga-based stretch now. We're gonna do a downward dog, and then we're gonna walk the dog or walk the feet for some great ankle mobility work to stretch the plantar fascia and the calves as well as those hamstrings. So pop up and do a downward dog, which looks like so. You're in an inverted V, arms are straight overhead, you're pressing through the hands, legs are straight, lift the hips to the ceiling. Now we're gonna alternate the feet. We're gonna lift one heel, keep the other heel down, raise up onto both, drop the opposite heel down. Raise up and drop, raise up and drop. Now notice, while I'm raised on one toe, I'm actually still pressing down into the base of that big toe here because I'm getting that plantar fascia stretch just like we did sitting earlier. I'm doing it in this position now. Another way to strengthen the plantar fascia or the arch of the foot are to do towel curls. So you're going to start in a seated position, and this one is best done on a slick surface like a tile or wood floor. So place the towel in front of you. All you're going to do is flex the toes, drag the towel in toward your heel, extend the toes to straighten them, and then grab onto the towel again, flex and pull, straighten, flex and pull, straighten. And you're just continuously curling that towel in toward you just with the toes. One way to strengthen the plantar fascia is to do object pickups with your toes. If you have marbles at home, that's ideal. If not, you can use other small objects like pens or even chip clips. And you're simply going to pick up the object with your toes. Once you've got it, lift it up, place it into a bowl or just off to the side, and then repeat, one at a time. You'll notice that you're having to flex and curl those toes each time to pick up the object, so that's going to help strengthen the arch of your foot. One way to strengthen the calves and the plantar fascia in the feet is to work on balance. So let's do a single leg balance now. The arms can go wherever you'd like, hips out to the side, across to the chest, whatever helps you with balance. You're just going to place all your weight on one foot, lift the other foot up off the ground, and hold it here. Make sure you do this one near a wall or a table so that if you lose your balance, you can grab on and prevent yourself from falling. It's always good to strengthen the calves as well to build up the strength and stability through the lower leg into the arch of the foot. So you can do calf raises double leg or single leg. Here's how it looks. I'm sure you've done double leg before, right? Make sure that as you rise up, you're putting a little bit more weight to the big toe, so to the inner foot versus the outer foot. Get up as high as you can. You can hold a table or a wall. And once the pain is a little bit subsided and you're feeling better, you can always do single leg. So I like to cross my foot, but you can just hold it in the air, whatever works for you. And then just do one leg at a time. It's a little bit harder, but a good progression. Also a good idea to strengthen the soleus. When you do calf strengthening work, you can do it in standing or sitting. So let's try some in sitting now. You can find a box or a step of some sort. Place the toes on it and let the heels drop off the edge. Then you're going to do some calf raises in this position. So it looks like that. Make sure you work through the full range of motion. So drop the heels as much as you can between each rep and then rise up as much as you can as well. If you're at the gym, you can do the seated calf raise with some plates on there or the weight stacked on there. At home, you could put a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something heavier, like a laundry detergent, on top of your thighs here to add some weight. Hold the weight still, and then do the calf raises here. Thank you so much for watching my plantar fasciitis exercise program video. I hope you found it helpful, and I would love to hear from you. If you are someone who suffers from plantar fasciitis and you try any of these exercises or tips that I gave on the video today, please comment below. I'd love to hear your story and chat with you. If you found the video helpful, please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this with your friends. As always, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.